Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Some men need to stop projecting their issues. You know what? The other day on one of my in the comments, somebody was like, I need to stop setting men up for failures, right? And then they were like, MGTOW and all of that shit, right? And look, I'm just gonna say this. And this ain't directed just at MGTOW, though there are some MGTOW guys who do this, and I just gotta be raw with it. But there's plenty of other guys who do it. If you having trouble with women, or you decide you want to go your own way or whatever, you're free to do that, right? You free to do that. Whatever the case is, you want to go your own way. You don't want to deal with them. You want to go monk, or you know what? You ain't getting the women like, you're an alpha or, sexual king or something like that. That's cool. But then stop acting like every other man feels the same way or has the same trouble. All men don't. Every man's going to have different experience. Now you might come across a bunch of men who have similar experiences to you and they're negative, and that's cool. That's going to happen. But it's just like with this class thing, right? Just like with this class thing, everybody's experience ain't the same. Just like there's plenty of guys out there who might have trouble getting a woman. Another guy's experience is that he's having trouble managing 10 women. And I actually get a lot of coaching clients like that. Everybody ain't the same. And see, some people got to act like that. And you get a lot of people, they get mad, I've had quite a few get mad at me, thinking, oh, what you're doing is useless and all of that. Apparently it's not. I wouldn't still been doing this for 20 years. 20 years I've been doing this. And if it's still working, that's because people coming back to me and saying it is. And that's just the reality, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had anybody who said they did everything I said do and say it still didn't work for them. Usually what I have is some people might see, they might read some of my stuff and they might listen, but they'll say, before they actually put it into practice, they'll say something like, oh, this won't work. But I have never had somebody come back to me said, I put into practice what you said. I did everything and nothing happened. There was no change. Never. Right? And my point with that is people have to realize, stop. Because that's the whole point is stop thinking because you having a certain issue, everybody shares that. Like a story I've seen a lot, right? Like you'll get some cats, they'll say, one of my mentors shared this story with me. He's saying, there was a guy and he was talking about a threesome that he had, right? But there was some other guys in the circle. There was a group of men talking and they thought the guy was lying. And the reason why they thought he was lying because no other reason, because this guy, the guy who was accusing the other guy of lying, this has never happened to him. That's the only reason. Now, the thing is, people have to realize you got billions of people in this world. Everybody don't have the exact same experience. Billions of men. There's going to be men who they can't get rid of women. And then there's going to be men who struggle. Because regardless, unless you can say, you personally know the personal experience of every single other man, you can't really project. Now, we use those terms like, women, men, all women do this, all men do that, right? But really, it is not all. You always got to qualify. And anyone with common sense is going to qualify it, even if the word some or whatever isn't used in that. And in fact, if you following that whole, whether it's the alpha beta thing or select non-select thing, whatever you want to do, big rooster on the yard thing, if you want to follow that, apparently everybody has different experiences. So stop projecting it. And see, here's a problem with some people who want to project their stuff. They don't just do it like say, well, this is how I feel. They think you got a problem. And I'm like, dude. And I've actually personally told dudes, I'm like, dude, you never live. Like, I'll say I did something and it sound crazy to him or something. I say, dude, you all you know of me is what you see on 10-minute videos. Even if you watch all of them, that's like a microcosm of my actual life. You don't see me walking around or something. You don't see me interacting. You don't know what I do. And you're not living my life. Now, it's funny, right? It's funny how some people, they can respect someone's experience even if it's different from theirs. Like, I don't, look at a guy who's having trouble with women and say, oh, what's wrong with him or anything. I accept it. Which I could be like, well, hold up. All my peers and stuff and myself, we don't seem to have trouble with women like that. But then you got some other cats, they want to project their shit. And something else I dislike is when somebody try to find something in anything, you say, well, you're just like me or something like that. This is an issue I've had with some MGTOW dudes too. Just to be clear, this ain't against MGTOW. I'm using this as an example. General respect for whatever any philosophy a man want to do or go. I don't have a problem with it. Just don't project it onto another man. Right? Don't feel like this other man should be wanting to follow this. Everybody has their choice. Everybody has their experience. But when somebody says somebody else say, well, that's MGTOW. It's like, dude, but I don't follow that. I respect it. I don't follow it. Or somebody try to somehow pull you into their shit, regardless of what the philosophy is. It's like, nah. That's just like when somebody try to force you to follow their religion or something. Stop projecting. It's ultimately your shit. Now you might find other people who agree with your viewpoint. That's cool. But it's just like the class discussion and what I've always discussed, subcultures and stuff. You got different stuff. You got different things going on. So you got to respect that. You got to respect that. And that's the most important thing. That's the most important piece. Because ultimately, you projecting your issues onto everybody else ain't solving them for you. Because, okay, you going through some stuff and, they say misery love company or whatnot. That's still not helping you. Because ultimately, you got to solve it yourself. I want people to think about that. You got to solve it yourself. And then, you can't say that's like I said, you can say that either. It's like you struggling to find a job and you acting like everybody else broke too. Nah, you ultimately got to deal with that. And then respect someone else ain't dealing with it. Now you want somebody to respect your position, they can respect it, but don't get mad. If you got some issues, don't get, definitely don't get mad if somebody is saying, well, here's a solution. And if the solution ain't for you, don't worry about it. Every solution ain't for you. Everything I teach or any other coach or anybody or just somebody talking about something positive, it might not be for you. Because you might have some other stuff to deal with before you can deal with whatever they offer. Or even then, it might not be in the modality that you needed to be in. But it's still there. You gotta respect it. Just like you want your shit respected. If you presenting some issues or something and you want somebody to respect what you saying. Right? But you gotta give it though. And then stop acting like everybody else is going through the same shit, because they not. That's the key thing with this all. Everybody ain't going through the same shit. So just respect it. Just respect it. Just respect it. Just if you want respect for your shit, you gotta give it. All right. So you know what? And if they're your issues, stop projecting like everybody else got them. Cause that whole misery loves company thing, that's some bullshit. Cause it's still misery. Now, if I got some issue, I ain't gonna say, well, he got it too. He got it too. I'm like, fuck all them. I'm trying to figure out how to I'm trying to figure out how to deal with it myself. All the stuff I had to deal with, I ain't care who else went through the same thing. 1 million, 2 million. Nah, that's a female thing to want to even like project and share that shit. Men solve the goddamn problem. If they got some issues within themselves, they solve it. A man will solve it and deal with it. Instead of trying to share it or then get mad that somebody's presenting some like solution or something. So stop it. Any men out there, you got any issue you got to deal with, that's the fight you got to fight. That's your demon you got to conquer. Ultimately, you got to conquer that man. You got to defeat that demon in the mirror. So that's all I got for this one. I'll get back with y'all.